Hi, boys and girls. Today we are going to be drafting the end of my narrative as Holly. Follow along as I read our learning target to you. I can draft the end of my narrative based on Holly's experience from the Mayasora Dig, the story of Dr. Holly Woodward Ballard. Before we begin, let's take a look at my narrative planner as a model. Today, like I said, we are focusing on our end notes, and we will also be turning our notes into full sentences. So what do we need to include in our end notes? Well, let's take a look at our criteria for a compelling narrative about discovering a fossil. Remember, a criteria is something like the rules that we have to follow. So what do we have to include? We must include actions you took after you found the fossil. Remember, actions are things that you did. Remember our model that we did? Standing up is an action. Digging is an action. Scraping is an action. Running is an action. So I want to know what actions you took or what did you do after you found the fossil, which says the same thing right here. We need to provide a sense of closure. Our story, our narrative is coming to an end. So the readers want to know, what actions did you take after you found the fossil? But before we can start with our end, let's just make sure our notes line up and will lead us to the end. We want to make sure that our notes are in order. So the beginning, where are you? I'm on the beach with my dog. What tools do you have? A hammer. The middle, describe when you found the fossil. So what actions did I take to find the fossil? I had to climb the rock, scrape the rock with my hammer. Do you notice how my tools that I have match the action and the scraping with hammer? So I am writing that I have a hammer here, and I'm telling you that I scraped the rock with the hammer. I didn't say I scraped the rock with a pickaxe or I used a shovel, because that would not match. We want to make sure our notes match and they tell a story. And the action in my middle is climbing and scraping. Let's continue. What did it look like? It looked like an enormous skull. Remember, the word enormous means very big skull. And it looked like a sea monster. How did you respond when you found the fossil? So how did I feel? I felt surprised. And what did I think? I thought it was so big. Couldn't get it out alone. Needed to get help. Notice how my notes also match here. I said it had an enormous skull and it was so big. So both middles are telling me that what I found was big. I didn't write small and big. I wrote that they were both big. So now my end notes. What actions did you take after you found the fossil? So we know that it was so big. So what did I have to do? I ran fast to get the quarryman because I said I needed help. So if I need help, I had to go get my quarryman to help me. Once you have written your notes about the actions that you took, you are going to turn these notes into full sentences. Watch the next video on how we turn our notes into full sentences. But before you write your own notes, make sure that your narrative planner is aligned and everything makes sense.